Welcome. So today we start a new sefer, Sefer Shemos, Parshas Shemos. So before I get into the Parsha, I just want to raise another point, which has to do with Vashti's tale that we spoke about a number of weeks ago. The idea that midrashim are presented to children in their literal form, where most probably that's not what it means, and even if it is what it means, it's not something to tell them because it's going to strain their credulity. They're not going to believe, and they're going to lose their emunah if you tell them stories which they're going to think that it's a lie. And if that's what they can think is Torah, then to them Torah is a lie, so that's going to undermine their emunah. So we have over here another one of these famous cases, which are, I guess, in every coloring book and in every kid that comes home from the lower grades. It says Baspara went down to the river. You know, Yocheved took Moshe and she put him in a little basket and she put him out in the river. And the Baspara went down to the river, and she saw the basket was there in the reeds. She Pashup Pshat is she sent her maidservant, sent her servant to go take him. So Rashi says esamasa eshivchasa. So Rashi says a medrash v'hem darshu esamasa es yoda, that really it was her hand. Nishtar v'amasa arba amis harbe. Her hand got very long. That means that the hand extended and it became like 100 feet long, and it reached into the river, this 100-foot hand, and it took the teva and it pulled it in, which is like beyond bizarre. And what would have happened with this hand, which is like so much more protoplasm and veins and muscles and bones reaching all the way out there, and a poor little heart must have been pumping like crazy to pump the blood all the way to the fingers, which are 100 feet away, and she must have gotten a heart attack, but maybe that was part of the nest, that she didn't die from the heart attack. I mean, this doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Now, what does it mean? So let's take a talk about this medrash. What does it mean? So what I think it means is that here you have a pampered princess who can't sleep on a mattress if there's a pea under it, and can't see beyond her lipstick, and she's walking, and she's totally absorbed in herself, and she sees out there this basket. Now the word yad means a hand, but it also means, the Rambam said in the Moira, and it's really pashut, yad also means a reach. A person has a yad, like Yishmael is Yoda Bakol, Viat Kolba. It doesn't mean his hand. It means his grasp, his reach. A person has a yad in Shas. It means he has a grasp in Shas. Doesn't mean that his physically hand is sitting in the Shas. It's a figurative term, but that's what it means. A yad. So here she has the yad of this princess, of this Basparai, was very limited. But because she saw that teva, then she had some inspiration, she felt something that she had to do something, and she was able to extend her yad. She climbed out into the river and clambered out herself into the reeds, and she slept, which was beyond her yad. This is not something that she ever did. And her yad, in this case, extended many, many amas more than it normally did. Now, it could be that she clambered out herself, or could be she sent her shifcha to do it, but in either way, it's the extension of her yad. And you see this in Onkelos. Onkelos teaches, Batishlach es amosa, you should teach, ushlach yas amsa. The translation of a tishlach, when it's talking about Yaakov sent v'yishlach Yaakov malachim, ushlach malachim is gadron, whatever it says there. The word v'yishlach should be shlach, but when it says in the Akedah, atishlach yotcha el alam uma, it says leisoishit. To lehoishit, that means to extend. When you reach out your hand, you don't send your hand, you extend it. So when we're talking about a hand, the translation is the hoishit. When you're talking about something else, the translation is ushlach. So over here, the Onkelos combines the two. Vaishitas yos amsa. She extended her maidservant. So really, he teaches that it means kipshutai, that it means a maidservant. But he's also putting in that part of the medrash that there was an extension of her reach, and the way she extended the reach was by sending her shifcha, her amsa. She sent her out to get him. But really, it doesn't mean that there was an additional. You see, obviously, that the Onkelos is referencing this medrash. But it doesn't mean that her arm became 100 feet long. It doesn't mean that. And even if it does mean that, it's not something to teach. Now, a couple of times before when I spoke about this, I mentioned the Sefer Hasidim, and I think it's kedai to say it again. I hope people who are hearing this and really care about the emunah of their children would maybe go to the school and go to the rabbeim. I know some chacham came to me and told me that they're upset about this. So maybe they would go to the school and go to the rabbeim and tell them, please stop telling them things that are going to make them lose their emunah. The Sefer Chizim says, "Ein megalin agoda tmua lektanim." You don't tell a strange hagoda, a strange agadata. You don't tell it to the ktanim. Pen yomer ein by mamish. He's going to say it's not true. Since this is not true, then other things are also not true. They won't believe in Kriyas Yamsuf, they won't believe in Maimed Har Sinai. And it's ridiculous even if this is true, why would you do such a thing? It's enough that you have to get them to believe in Kriyas Yamsuf. You have to get them to believe in an arm that's 100 feet long. I mean, why do that? And befrat that is, I can't say for sure, but I'm convinced that's not what it means. Anyway, let's go on until the next time we come up against one of these strange midrashim. Now, I'll bring the Sefer again. I'm going to read it again. Believe me, I could say these words by heart, but I want to read it from the Sefer. You should know that this is, I'm reading straight from the Sefer Chassidim. Okay. So let's move on. So Moshe he runs away and he ends up in Midian, and he's walking in the desert, and he sees the burning bush. He sees the sneh. And the Rebbeinu Shalom talks to him from the sneh, and he tells him that he wants him that he should go to Mitzrayim and take out Klal Yisrael. So Moshe Rabbeinu starts with raises many objections. So first he says, Mi anochi keil chal Parai. Who am I? I should go to Parai. I'm not choshev. He says, I'm not choshev. Ma'ani choshev l'daber melachim. Who am I to go talk to Parai? I'm not choshev. And then he says, V'chi yoitzias b'nei Yisrael mitzrayim. What's the second thing Rashi says? Ma zochu Yisrael sheyasul nes v'yitzim mitzrayim. What is the schus of Klal Yisrael that they should go out now? Why does Moshe need to know what the Rebbeinu Shalom is sending him to take Klal Yisrael out? So Moshe says, in one breath he says, well, he's sending me, I'm not choshev. The other breath he says, why are you taking them out? What's the schus? Why is he asking this question? Why do you need to know? And why are you objecting to the Rebbeinu Shalom taking them out of Mitzrayim? So I think the pshat is, if Moshe Rabbeinu thought that they have no schus, they don't have schus. So if they don't have a schus, then it's the schus of the shliach. So he's saying, first of all, I'm not choshev to go, and second of all, I don't have any schusim to compensate for them. They have no schusim. I'm going to come here. My schusim are not good enough to take them out. So first, I'm not choshev, and second of all, I don't have schusim. That's what he means. He doesn't mean to complain. Okay, so anyway, he says that. So Rebbeinu Shalom says, I'll be with you. He answers. Then he says, Mashmoi, what? The people are going to ask me, what's Hashem's name? He says, what am I going to say? I'm not going to know what to say. So Rebbeinu Shalom tells him what to say. And then he says, kvad peh, kvad loshen. He says, I can't speak. I can't speak. When people speak, they're not going to understand what I'm saying. So first of all, I would think that if you want to object, you want to say you're not eligible, you're not qualified to be a shliach, the first thing you could say is that when I talk, nobody understands a word I say. So that's the first thing you should say. That I'm a kvad pes. How are you sending me? I'm going to talk, and nobody's going to understand the word I'm saying. And then he says, so Aaron will be with you. Okay, once this is taken care of, then I can say, okay, but I'm not choshev. I'm not going to know what to say. But I would think that would be the order. First you say that I can't even talk. Nobody understands the word I'm saying. And then you say, I'm not choshev. I'm not going to know what to say. And he did it the other way around. First he says, I'm not choshev. He said, I'm not going to know what to say. And then finally he's getting to the end. He says, by the way, kvad peh, I can't talk. When I talk, nobody can understand the word I'm saying. So you have to know why he's saying in this order. Now Rashi says, over here, but this gam etmol gam shilsham lamadnu shekol shiva yomim haya kadosh baruch hu mefata es Moshe b'sneh leilech b'shlichusay etmol shilsham mozda bercha. He says 7 days. Let's go into the cheshbon of Rashi how he gets 7 days. 7 days the Rebbeinu Shalom is persuading and being mefata Moshe and trying to get him to go, and Moshe keeps saying, no, it's not good, it's not this, it's not that. What is the pshat of this? What do you mean? The Rebbeinu Shalom is sending you, and every objection that you're going to raise, the Rebbeinu Shalom knows all your objections, and despite all the objections he's sending you, how's it you're not telling him anything that he doesn't know? He knows how chashuv you are. He knows that you have to know what to say. He knows that you're a kvad peh. He knows all these things, and he's sending you anyway. So what is the 7 days? Why do you take 7 days to argue? So I think the pshat is that of course Moshe understood that Rabban Shalom is sending him, then all the logistical problems will be taken care of course. But Moshe was saying to him, Rabban Shalom is sending him on a fantastic shlichus, that he should go and take Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. So what should he say? He should say, of course, Mia Melech Chafetz B'Yikara Yosef Mimeni, of course, I'll be happy to do it. Moshe understood that that's not what was expected of him. That's not the response that was expected of him. The response was going to be, I'm happy to say, no, I'm sorry, it's not for me. That is the proper way to respond to somebody who's offering you a very big covenant. You're offering a big covenant, say, sure, you want me to sit in the Mizrach? I'm running. No, it's not what you say, you want me to sit in the Mizrach? I don't belong in the Mizrach, I'm good where I'm sitting, what's the problem? And even if at the end you're going to end up in the Mizrach, but you should end up with reluctance. You should end up because you didn't feel that you deserved it. You didn't feel that you were worthy of it. So what he was doing every single day was raising reasons why he wasn't worthy. He knew the Rebbeinu Shalom sent him, and he understood that in the end the Rebbeinu Shalom wants him to go. He's going to go. At the end, when he said Shlach bi'at tishlach, and he told them that he should send Aaron, that's when the Rebbeinu Shalom got angry at him, and that was the end of the Maisa. That was the end of his objections. But all these 7 days that he was raising all these issues, he was just trying to put everything in proper perspective. You're sending me, but you know that I'm not choshev. Why are you sending me? And you know that I don't have schusim. That's going to be my so, and everything Rebbeinu Shalom is a teretz. I'll be with you. Okay, fine. So he answers them, but his job is to be maktin himself, to say that I'm not deserving of this. It's not to go running for it, but that's his job. His job is to say that I don't deserve it, and that's what he did for 7 days, and that's why he said kvad peh at the end. It's not a question. All the things are not going to matter because everything will have a teretz. But when you're talking about why you're not deserving, if you say that you're not choshev, that's a much more fundamental reason why you're not deserving. You say, really, I am deserving. I just have a speech problem. So that's not what you should start with. You start with, I'm not choshev. I don't have enough chacham. I don't have the knowledge. I'm going to come there. I'm not going to know what to say. I'm not going to know what to do. All these. That's how you should start. And then when you've run out of all these things, like, by the way, I'm also, I can't speak, people, it will be solved, I understand, but Lamaisa, you want to send somebody who doesn't speak well, so really I don't deserve to go because of that. So really, that was really at the bottom of the list, not at the top of the list. If you're talking about somebody sends you on a job, so you say, okay, listen, why are you sending me? I'm not capable of doing the job. But and before you get to all your other things, but when you're talking with the Rebbeinu Shloim and the Rebbeinu wants you to go, and you will go, and you're being mocked in yourself, talk about what's important first. I'm not choshev. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to go. And then after all that is finished, then you could talk about your kvat peh. So I want to point out to you a balaturim in the beginning of Shemini. He says, "B'yibiyay mashmini kar Moshe la'Aaron." In the Yimei Miluim, Moshe Rabbeinu served as the Kohen Gadol for seven days. On the 8th day, Aaron became the Kohen. On the 7th day, the first 7 days, Moshe Rabbeinu was the Kohen. So Baal Turim says like this: Omar Moshe, Lefisha Serafti Zayin Yomim B'Sneh, since I objected for 7 days by the sneh. I was only able to serve for 7 days. In other words, if I had lasted for another day, if I had kept up my sirah for the 8th day, then I would have been the Kohen Gadol the 8th day as well. That's what he said. That's what he's saying. Because I was Mesaref only 7 days. 7 days. That's why I only served 7 days as a Kohen Gadol in the Miluim of the Mishkan. If I had done more, then I could have been another day. That's what you see. So it's very often here in the Balaturim that what he was doing was the right thing. It's what was expected of him. It was a schus for him, and the schus of was doing that, he was zeicher to be Kohen Gadol for 7 days, and everything that he was doing was exactly what was expected of him. So now you have during this whole dialogue by the sneh, Rebbeinu Shalom tells Moshe like this: that I'm gonna send the makkos, and then they're gonna send them out, and v'nosati eschena am hazeh b'nei Mitzrayim, that you're gonna have chen by the people of Mitzrayim. V'lo yiseh choreikom, you won't go empty-handed. V'sholo ishim eschenta megaras beisa klei chesed v'klei sof. The smallest, you're going to borrow all these kind of different kalim. V'nitzaltem es Mitzrayim. What is v'nitzaltem es Mitzrayim? Says Unkelos, u'seroikinu yas Mitzrayim. You're going to empty Mitzrayim. You're going to empty it. So what does this mean, you're going to empty it? K'targumai Rashi says, u'seroikinun. Rashi goes into the etymology. But you're going to empty it. What does it mean you're going to empty it? And what is the Lashon v'nitzaltem? So, the Gemara in Brachos brings this pasuk. Well, this says 3 times. It says here, and that you will. And then in Bay it says twice. He told them, please go ask them to borrow everything, and then at the end it says when they left, it says that they borrowed everything and they emptied Mitzrayim. So this is the Gemara is going on the last pasuk in Bay, but the other things to talk about in Bay, so I'd rather talk about this here. It's all the same thing. Vayinatzlu es Mitzrayim, Omer Avami, B'lamed Shasua Kemitzuda She'ein Bo Daga. They made Mitzrayim like a trap that has no wheat in it. Rashi says, Derech tzadei oifes lizruk dogon tachas mitzudais, They put like some grain under the traps, the nets, or whatever they do. The birds come, they see the grain, they come for the grain, and they get captured. This is Ravami. They make it like the deep water that has no fish. Again, what does Rashi say? That in the deep, in the deep water, there's no food. So I mean, at least okay. I mean, today I think we find that in deep water there are some fish that live there, but pashtas there's hardly any fish there. So on the more shallow waters, there's food on the floor of on the seabed. So the fish go there and they eat the food. So you have fish on the shallow water. In the deep water, since there's no food there, there's no fish there. So here we have two ways of saying what does it mean they made it empty? They made it empty like a trap without grain. They made it empty like the deep water that has no fish. Now, I would think that it's not such a difficult thing to find a mashal for what empty is. Here's a cup, and look, it's empty. There's nothing in it. What is this? What is so hard to find a mashal for what empty means? Empty. It's nothing there. Okay, so there's another Gemara in Pesachim, Daf Kuf Yutes, the end of Pesachim. So he says like this. Vayilakit Yosef, he's going back on a pasuk in Miketz. Vayilakit Yosef is kol hakesef hanimtza. That means all the kesef, all the money that was found in Canaan and in Mitzrayim. Yosef collected all the money. I'm sorry. Kol kesef v'zov shebe'olam. All silver and gold in the world. Yosef lekotoi ve'avir leMitzrayim. Yosef went and he collected all the silver and gold that was found in the world, and he brought it to Mitzrayim. All of the money, all of the silver, all of the gold, he brought it to Mitzrayim. Shenemar, vayilakit Yosef es kol hakesef hanimtza. Ein le'elo sheberetz Mitzrayim, sheberetz Canaan. Only in these two countries, the pasuk brings only those two countries, Canaan and Mitzrayim. Shara rotzos minayin. How about other countries? How about Syria or Bavel or Libya or whatever else there is? France? I don't know about France. Talmud Leimer, V'chol ha'oretz bo Mitzrayim. Everybody was coming to Mitzrayim. That means there are other countries also that people are coming to Mitzrayim to buy food. So he collected all the money in those countries as well. Collected everything. K'she'olu Yisrael me Mitzrayim, when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, Helua imam, they took it along with them. All this money that Yosef collected from all the countries in the whole surrounding area, and he took all the money and all the kesef and all the zav. When Klal Yisrael left, they took it along with them. Shenemar vayinatzlu es Mitzrayim, they emptied Mitzrayim. Rabbi Basi Omer Shasu Kemitzuda Shem B'Dagon. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish Omar Kemitzula Shem B'Dagon. So they emptied Mitzrayim, took it out. That means all this money that Yosef had collected, piles and piles and piles of gold and silver, all this money, when Klal Yisrael left, they took it with them. Vayemunach ad Rechavam. It was lying in Eretz Yisrael until Rechavam. Rechavam was the son of Shlomo Melech. Bo Sheshak Melech Mitzrayim. Then Sheshak, Parish Sheshak invaded Eretz Yisrael, and Netolim Rechavam. He came and he took it away. Shenemar v'hi b'shana chamishis Melech Rechavam Ola Sheshak Melech Mitzrayim al Yishalayim. V'yikach ha'soytzes beis Hashem v'soytzes beis Melech. Took everything. Bo Zorach Melech Kush. And V'netolim Sheshak, he took it away from Sheshak. Bo Asa, So Asa was the grandson of Rechavam. He took it back from Zorach, Melech Kush. So it's going, all this huge piles of money, Kesef Azov, they're all moving around. It came to Mitzrayim, moved to Eretz Yisrael. Sheshach took it away. Zorach took it away from Sheshach. Asa took it away from Zorach. Now what happened then? So now Sheshach has it. Now Asa has it. V'shigroi Ladrima ben Tavrimain. He sent it to, I think, who's this, the Syrian? Bo b'nei Ammon. So the people from Ammon came, they took it from Madrimain. Bo Cheskia unetoloi, 1 second. Bo Yeshofat, so Yeshofat, Shofat was the son of Asa, yeah? Then told him he took it back from the Ammon. Vayemunach ad Achaz. It was lying by in Eretz Yisrael till Achaz came. Bo Sancherev. Are you following all this movement of these trailer trucks full of kesef and zov? Okay, and told him Achaz. So he took it. So in Sancherev, the Ashur went and took it away from Achaz. Bo Parsiim talu Mekazdim. So the Persians came and they took it from the Babylonians. Bo Yevonim talu Parsiim. Then the Greeks took it from the Persians. Bo Romiim. Then the Romans came talu Miyad Yevonim. They took it from the Greeks. Vadayin munach beRomi. All of this is still in Rome. So, what is this? What's going on? So, Akalpana, what happened here is by the time it came to Eretz Yisrael, and then it went out of Eretz Yisrael, they went back, and then eventually went out by Sancherev, and by the time the Yevonim came, the Yevonim had it, right? So if we take a look at a Gemara in Sanhedrin, a famous Gemara, that when Alexander, who was Greek, Alexander came to Yerushalayim, so the Mitzrayim came, and they came to Alexander, and they said, it says in the Pasuk, Hashem nasan escheinam bein Mitzrayim v'ashilum, and he lent them all these things, Tu lanu kesef v'zov, to give me the kesef v'zov that you took from us. Give us all the gold and silver that you borrowed from us when you left. We want it back. So they had so they had a guts to think, what are they going to do? And then they said, so then Gavir ben Sisa came and said, let me argue. He says, okay, you want us to give you back the kesef v'zov, but you have to pay us for all the work that we did. So they ran away. That was it. Fine. That was the end of that. Now, this took place during the time of the Yevonim. So they don't have it anymore. The Yevonim took it back. Shishak took it, gave it here, gave it there, went around here and there, and now the Yevonim have it. So what do you want? It's not the Yidden don't have it anymore. They had it for a while, then they lost it, they gave it back. What are you asking for? And then there's another question that I had in Parshas Miketz. When the brothers came back the second time, so the first time Yosef told them to put, he told whoever his people were, to put their money into their sacks. They came back home, they saw that they had the money and they got all upset. What's all this money? What's it doing here? So then they brought it back. So they came back and told Yosef that, we brought money for food, and the money from before, we brought that too. So Yosef says something like this: Shalom lechem, al tiro, don't be worried. Elekeichem v'elekei avichem, nosen lechem matmoi b'am techoseichem. The Hashem, that the God of your God, the God of your father, he gave you this thing, this like secret present that he put into your, that's the money. Kaspachem boilai. I have your money. You came with your money, you paid. I have your money. What you found over there was a present from God. I mean, it's a lie. It's not true. We have Mefurish of Psukim that Yosef told them to take their money and put it back. I mean, why is he lying? What is he? I mean, besides that, there's a lie, but there has to be a reason. Why is he making up such a lie? He says, "No, this is, I have your money. This is something Hashem gave you, a matmain." So, I want to explain what's going on over here. And I'm telling you right now that I don't have the answer all the way. I'm going to tell you what I think is the right pshat, but I still need a little help to just make it all the way. And I would appreciate if, my email is Yaakov Yosef Reinman at Gmail. I don't know if anybody can remember that. Yaakov Yosef Reinman at Gmail. And if anybody could offer an explanation, I would appreciate it. So I think what he's saying is like this. What is a mitzuda? Why is that the mashal for empty, a mitzuda? So we're not talking over here. What we're talking about over here is that Mitzrayim was the imperial power in the region. They were the dominant power. They were economically, they had control of the world. They were an economic power. Now, to be an economic power is like most empires, most colonization is all about economy. You want to have countries that will, from whom you could take resources and to whom you could sell things. But yes, you have markets, but everything is about economic power. So Mitzrayim had economic power. That means that the Mitzuda, a Mitzuda she'ein ba dagan, Mitzuda is a trap. It pulls in people. It's control. A Mitzuda is an item of control. It controls the birds. You have a dagan, and the dagan is the lure, and the birds see it and they come, and this way you capture the birds. But the Mitzula is the shallow water, has control of the fish because it provides food, so it draws the fish to it. So it has control of the fish. Deep water, which has no food, does not draw fish. So this nitzaltem, the Mitzula, this is a metaphor for economic power. Mitzrayim was the dominant economic power. And how did they become this economic power? How did they become the dominant economic power of the whole area? I think that Yosef did it. When he collected Vaylaket Yosef, as Kol HaKesef, V'Kol HaZov, and all the arotzes, he got everybody to come down there and to spend their money in Mitzrayim. That's how he gained economic control of all the countries around him. Now, it doesn't mean that there was no other silver coin and there was no other golden coin anywhere else except for in the capital of Mitzrayim. It doesn't mean that. Money flowed. There was people bought, people sold, but the control of the money, Yosef gained that control of the money, and I think that's what he was telling the brothers. He says, "Kas bechem megia elai." You came here, you spent your money, so I gained control over your group, over your tribe. I have economic control over them. That's what he was saying. You got your money? Okay, Hashem gave you matana. How did he give matana? I put it back. That's not important. What's important, he says, is that whatever I wanted, I succeeded. I got control over everything. Now, when they left Mitzrayim, they emptied Mitzrayim, v'nitzaltem. They became like a Mitzuda she'ein ba dagan. Mitzrayim lost its role as the economic superpower. They lost it. How did they lose it? Klal Yisrael took it out. How? I don't know. I don't know. But I think that's what's going on over here. Klal Yisrael didn't immediately replace Mitzrayim as the superpower. It took years, it took hundreds of years. But Shlomo HaMelech was Melech B'Kippah. Shlomo HaMelech was the dominant imperial power in the world. And he didn't do it with armies or with military. He did it economically with his alliances and his businesses. So Shlomo HaMelech was after Mitzrayim. Shlomo HaMelech was the next king who was the dominant economic imperial power in the whole area. He was Melech B'Kippah. After Shlomo HaMelech, by Rechavam, Shisha came and took it away. So Eretz Yisrael was no longer this economic superpower. Now it went back to Shishak. And then this power bounced around. It went from Shishak to Zorak to Asot, to Adrimain, to the Bnei Yamin, to the Babylonians, to the Persians, to the Greeks, and now it is in Rome. It is in Rome. Now you could say the Gemara means that the time of the Gemara is still in Rome, or you could say it actually means today. Today it's in Rome, because what is Rome? Rome is the Western world. Europe is divided into two parts. The eastern part of Europe is Slavic. The western part is German, and all these countries, they're all Germanic. The Germans, the Anglo-Saxons, the Franks, the Burgundians, the Scandinavians, the Ostrogoths in Italy, the Visigoths in Spain, the Irish are the Celtic, which are also closely related to the Germans. America is a German country. The American white people are like almost all of them are Germans. So and Germany, this is Edom. We're in Golis Edom. So Edom is Rome. So today, the economic dominance of the world, where is it? It is in the Western world. It is in Western Europe and the United States, which are one thing. So the domination of the world is there. This is what the pasuk. This is what the Gemara is telling you. Now, Alexander, when they came to ask for the stuff back, they were asking for the sacks of bechers and lachters and bracelets and necklaces. That's not what the Nitzaltem is. And actually, the Gemara in Sanhedrin doesn't mention the Nitzaltem. It just mentions Vayashilum. They came for the stuff that they borrowed. They wanted it back. Shishak never took it back. He didn't bother with the stuff that they borrowed from the neighbors. That wasn't what Shishak came for. He came for economic domination. When he came there, he broke the economic power of Eretz Yisrael, and he replaced Eretz Yisrael as the dominant economic power in that part of the world, which is basically the most important part of the world. That's all of the world. So this is the way I understand this. I don't know how this happened. Was it something Shlek Derech HaTeva, or is it some kind of economic principles that govern this? I don't know. And if anybody can help me out, I mean, assuming that I think that's really what it's about. Otherwise, it just makes no sense. So it is about domination. It is about Mitzuda She'ein Ba Dagon. The Mitzuda dominates. Economic domination draws in everybody, controls everybody. When you pull out the Dagon, it becomes, emasculated. It has no power anymore. So that is what happened. That's the Nitzaltem. Nitzaltem, something happened, and I don't know what it is, and I don't have any explanation. Okay, that takes care of this. If anybody has an explanation, I would really be very grateful, because it's many years that I have no shot in this Gemara. Okay, I just want to conclude with one thing. We know Moshe was like the greatest leader that Klal Yisrael ever had. He came to Mitzrayim. He took Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim, which is something magnificent, really. But why is it so magnificent? What did Moshe do that you and I couldn't have done? If the Rebbeinu Shalom had sent you to Mitzrayim, everything Moshe did was scripted. Every word he said, every movement with his hand, every movement with his stick, everything that he did, the Rebbeinu Shalom told him, pick up the matter, do this, do that, go to Paroi, say this, say this. Everything was exactly, he was told exactly what to do. So what was extraordinary about what Moshe Rabbeinu did? What was so great about it? I mean, it was. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm saying it was unbelievably great. But what was the greatness of it? What was it? So there's a Rashi that really holds the key. After the snare, so Moshe goes back to Yisrael and he gets permission to go, and then says, "V'yemer Hashem el Moshe, b'lechtecha loshuv Mitzrayma, re'ez kol ha'moifsim." So Rashi says, "B'lechtecha loshuv Mitzrayma." Listen to these words. Da, you should know. Shal minas kein teilech. This is why you're going. Shetei gibra b'shlichusi. You should be strong in my shlichus. Lasa is called moifsai lifnei faroi, to do all my moifsim. V'loi sira mimenu. Don't be afraid of him. That's what it was. If Moshe Rabbeinu had stood before Paroi and had felt the least tremor of fear in his heart, and it was scary, with his warriors and his lions and his whatever other creatures he had over there, and it was like a very scary situation. And Moshe Rabbeinu was coming with the shlichus to Rebbeinu Shalom. If he would have felt the slightest fear in his heart, the shlichus would have been bottled, because then Paroi is also something. The whole point is that Einoid Malvadoi, there's the Rebbeinu Shalom, Paroi is nothing. And if Paroi is nothing, then you can't fear him. So that's what your shlichus was, to be a gibur and not to have the slightest bit of fear, to walk into that lion's den, to walk into that Paroi and everything and all his intimidations, and don't feel any fear. Because if you would have felt any fear, it would be felt. And that would mean that there's two. There's Hashem and there's Paroi, and there's not. So the whole success of the shlichus depended on his lois sira mimenu. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu did. He was able to go, and he didn't have not even a trace of fear in his heart. And that's why he was successful. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again next week.